Now, if you notice on your screen, I've put a whole bunch of these patterns out there. Whether you want to trade from them or not is up to you. But tonight we're here to learn about triangles. Triangles are a very distinct group of chart patterns. Now, here we have something called the falling wedge. We have the rising wedge. We have, well, let's forget the flag. We have pennants. Now, when I was in school, we learned all about isosceles triangles, symmetrical triangles, and all kinds of triangles. But ultimately, a triangle consists of three lines, a base and two side angles, two other lines converging at angles towards each other, forming an apex. The triangle has three sides. That's it. So I take together and put them all in one category. A pennant, a wedge, a pennant, spanning wedge. Okay. Anything that's got two sides moving at some type of degree towards each other and has a base, in my definition, is a triangle. Now, the reason I say this, and I teach the same thing when we learn about Japanese candlesticks. Candlesticks also have patterns that people expect you to memorize. And memorize what you're supposed to do and what the action or reaction that you're supposed to have. Now, supposedly when you see a symmetrical triangle, it's supposed to be a continuation pattern continuing on in the same line. Well, I've tested them. Using those explanations, just like when you look at a bullish engulfing or a bearish engulfing pattern in candlestick, they tell you, this is what's supposed to happen when you see it, and this is what you're supposed to do. Well, you'll find out if you do what they tell you you're supposed to do, you'll end up losing all your money. You need to know that something is about to happen. And a triangle tells you that price is moving into the apex of this triangle. At some given point, it's got to break out either upward or downward. And you know, I've done a whole statistical study to determine, does it, following these particular set of rules that you're supposed to memorize for a triangle, does it improve your trading? Well, I found out after testing about 300 symmetrical triangles, if you followed the rule, you would be right 50.8% of the time and wrong 49.2% of the time. Just following that set of rules. Well, that's not enough of an odds to make me want to do anything. But a triangle does give us lots of information and it helps us make our trading decisions. Because when we see price moving between a converging support and resistance line, we know sooner or later it's going to break out of this pattern. And if you think and you're self-convinced that this is going to be a breakout and a continuation of the previous move, because that's what a symmetrical triangle is, well, guess what? You would have been completely wrong. Yes, price of Benzene moved up, but price broke out downward. Okay. What we need to see is that price is moving together between the two lines. And the only thing that we need to know is that at some point, price is going to break out of this triangle pattern. There's nothing we can do until price breaks out. And there's no reason to predict anything until price breaks. Because price could break out here. It could have broken out here. It could have stayed in there farther. But when we see this setting up, one of the things we want to see is the more well-developed the triangle is, and the more well-developed the trend pattern is within this triangle, the more accurate your trade will be when it breaks out. Because movement within a triangle could be all over the place. It could be just a hodgepodge of mess and still form a triangle. Or it could be a clean, nice, well-developed triangle like here. And triangles appear on our charts all the time. Now, finding triangles is difficult. You have to see them. And you have to trade with them often enough that your eyes become accustomed to finding them. Because there's no way to predict a triangle. But a triangle doesn't start and end quickly. They develop over a matter of time. So you have enough time for your eye to start seeing that triangle and that pattern. As we get this triangle developing, we have a couple pieces of key information. The width of the base of the triangle. Can be used, but you can't use it till you get the breakout. But at the breakout point, you can then use this width of the triangle to set your target. Because remember, you need to have a target price to set your risk-reward ratios to see if you can even afford to make that trade. So the base of the triangle will serve as that target price at the breakout. Now, how do you set or determine where the base is? Okay. A lot of people will use from this point on when the triangle started to develop. I say no. You use the point where both your support and resistance lines have been confirmed. Because your support line hasn't been confirmed yet until here. Your resistance line started back here. So therefore, the actual base of the triangle is when you have the two lines starting to converge on each other. And this holds true whether it's a symmetrical triangle, an ascending triangle, a descending triangle, every type of triangle, whether it's a wedge. Just categorize them all in your head as triangles, and these same rules. And this is not my rule. This is